Hello, hello, my little ghouls and goblins. I hope we're all doing very well. Welcome to my home. Please, put your feet up, put your coat anywhere. We're not fancy, as you can tell from all the gas masks hanging on the walls. And I'm sorry if this is how you had to find out that the way I spend all of my YouTube money is on gas masks, anime action figures, and skulls. If you're ever wondering where your views go, that is directly what your views pay for. Hope we're all having a lovely winter. I know I certainly am. Got snowed in today. That's why we're at the old home office. That's why I got my holiday sweater on. And yes, I know this is the sweater that a dream demon wears when he's attacking people in their most intimate moments, but I thought that was kind of similar to how Santa Claus breaks into your house, so I thought it worked as a holiday sweater. I hope we're all staying warm out there. I'm pretty chilly. I can't help you stay warm through the internet, but I can help you stay entertained. And that I'm going to try my best today with this list of top 5 demons you don't want to encounter at Christmas. Or, to be honest, really ever. Why would you want to talk to any of these guys around November or April? Let me know down below in the comments if any of these are new to you, or honestly, just let me know if you're having a good holiday, you know? It's Yuletide time, we could all stand to spread a little cheer. Let's dive on it. Number 5 is Belsnickel. Now, if you're a fan of The Office, you probably thought this was something Dwight made up, and you'd be right to think that, since it didn't sound real, and most of the stuff Dwight does is pretty crazy. Well, he got some of it mixed up. The legend he was inspired by is totally real. Dwight describes him as being like Santa, but better because he spreads fear, and that he is right about. No one fears Santa, Dwight says. Belsnickel dates all the way back to German folklore from the 18th century, and he's sort of like the original bad Santa. He's a disheveled, dirty man who's wearing tattered, ripped hides and dirty clothes, sometimes wearing a mask with a long tongue. He wanders around checking in on children a little bit before Christmas to make sure children are behaving. Belsnickel carries a long wooden stick with him and threatens to, well, there's no easy way to say this, he threatens to bash you if you haven't been behaving, and he carries candy canes for those who have. It's a very simple set of rules to follow along to, actually. Candy cane if you're being good, you get caned if you're being bad. He warns you that if you're seeing him, that's a sign that you need to start shaping up before Christmas and getting your act together. Depending on the variant of the legend, sometimes Belsnickel and Santa are actually partners who've got a strange work arrangement going on, and other times Belsnickel's just a rogue agent doing his own independent, festive Christmas Punisher thing. While Belsnickel is a bit of an older legend, he still does crop up from time to time, and he's very popular around Pennsylvania, which is where The Office took place, of course, explaining why Dwight is so fond of it due to his Germanic heritage and the legend being a big deal in the surrounding area. And hey, if you love hearing about Christmas demons, I know I do, stick around on the channel because we have got all sorts of stuff. If you're looking for a reason to not talk to your relatives this holiday season, just click through Top 5 Scary, stay subscribed, spend the holiday with us, why don't you? Number 4, Hans Trapp. Hans Trapp has been called the Christmas Scarecrow. Sounds like the name of a direct-to-VHS B horror movie I would be super into. Hans Trapp is another, bad Santa figure, and I've gotta wonder, why are there so many, bad Santas in folklore? Why are there so many evil Santas? The legend goes that Trapp was an Ebenezer Scrooge type, a wealthy man who lived in France. He was cruel, selfish, and definitely would have got a lump of coal in his stocking. The legend goes that Trapp practiced black magic and worshipped Satan to increase his wealth and power. Now, the townspeople of the village he lived in had a bit of an issue with him, unsurprisingly. He was exposed to the Catholic Church, and the Pope had him excommunicated. The local villagers took his money, seized his lands, and exiled him away to the surrounding forests. See, kids? This is why you should behave around Christmas. You could get exiled into the woods. Trapp took his exiling about as well as you'd expect a rich man would. He went batty. He lived in an isolated shack by himself where he became deranged and obsessed with scarecrows and started to dress himself like a scarecrow, went full-on Batman bad guy, ready to inflict his revenge on the village. He stalked the village waiting for the right moment and snatched a local boy to carry away to make into a snack. Well, he wouldn't get that far, luckily, as a lightning bolt from the heavens would stop him in his track. From here, the story changes depending on who's telling it. Sometimes, well, that's kind of it for Hans Trapp. You know how lightning works. But other times he gets offered a Santa Claus deal, like the Tim Allen movie, where he has to work as a partner for Santa Claus, scaring children into behaving lest he take them away. Seems to come up in a lot of European folklore, by the way. 3 of the ones on this list are about an evil Santa that's going to take you away. But the next one is my absolute favorite. Check this out. Up next is the Yule Cat. And this is my Yule Cat. Her name's Evie. she's my best friend, otherwise known as the Jolakaturin, and I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but my Finnish is not that good. Hope you all know I took a 6-week course to learning how to do that one. The Yule cat is about as funny as Christmas-themed demons go. It appears as a giant black cat, and other than the fact that it's really big, it's just a black cat. The Yule cat preys and lurks about the hills of Iceland, stalking its prey. Who does Mr. Whiskers go after? The Yule cat attacks and eats anyone who isn't wearing new clothes on Christmas. Jeez, Yule cat, some of us can't afford new dungarees every year. Well, if you're Icelandic and worried your style isn't going to be fresh enough to thwart off the Yule cat, you should know that in some variants of the legend, he just breaks into your house and eats all your food. Don't know how to tell the people who first wrote this legend, but that's actually not a legend at all. That is literally just what having a cat is like. It's thought that the origin of the Yule cat was that the threat of being eaten by a giant kitty cat was incentive for workers to finish processing all the wool needed through the autumn season, ready in time for Christmas. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to be responsible for everyone getting eaten by the big kitty cat, would you? But without that little tidbit of information, it seems like the Yule cat is just like a wandering jerk. Again, really not that much different from having a real cat. Number 2, Mary Lwyd. I know I'm pronouncing this wrong as well, because this is a Welsh word. This could actually be probably pronounced like Marlon Lewis, but I'm writing it as Mary Lwyd. If anyone in the comments is a Welsh native or knows more about this, please help me out here and also explain more of this because I am fascinated. The Mary Lwyd is a terrifying zombie horse that the Welsh love as a Christmas tradition. God, do I love the Welsh. They gave us Anthony Hopkins, Christian Bale, and the demon horse. I'm not sure if this is based on a real demon of folklore. I did a lot of digging, with some historians suggesting that perhaps it was once a folklore character, but has now become kind of a symbol of the holidays. Nothing says festivity like a horse's skull on a stick. When I tell you about what Mary Lwyd is used for in celebration, you aren't gonna believe me. And if any Welsh in the comments can sound off about this, everyone here would love to know more about this. Okay, so basically someone dresses up as this creepy horse by hoisting a horse skull upon a stick and covering all the people holding the stick with a big white sheet. From here, the horse demon walks around the streets and then goes knocking on the doors of all the neighbors, where the horse then demands you feed it and give it a drink. The horse sings a song and demands to be let in and get fed. The homeowner then has to sing a counter song explaining why they're not gonna let the demon horse in, and this goes back and forth until one of them relents, and it's usually the homeowner, and then I guess you give the horse a snack. It's kind of like trick-or-treating for adults, except you're being worn down by a demon horse until you eventually relent. I can't believe this is real, but it's like the funniest, most amazing thing I have ever heard. If there are any Welsh people in the comments who can please help us out on this one. And number 1 at our spot is Krampus. Well, who else could have been at the number 1 spot instead of Krampus? Who could it possibly have been? Krampus is like the Christmas demon. We make movies about him, we make merch about him, we buy little stuffed toys of him, we love the guy. This list was always going to be Krampus and 4 little dweeb runner-ups. Krampus manifests as a massive, furry, horned beast with a long, curved tongue. Freakishly, he's got big horns as well, and he's shackled in chains that he drags with him all around, which he lashes at you to try and give you a good scare. Krampus, like some of the other evil Santas on this list, is sometimes depicted as being a good friend of St. Nicholas, actually. Otherwise, he's a bit of a rival. I choose to believe they've got like a Murtaugh and Riggs lethal weapon thing going on, and they put aside their differences to get up to hijinks. There's actually a lot of like depictions of them being pretty tight like this. Much like Belsnickel, Krampus threatens to whack naughty children with a big stick if they've been bad this year. He also sometimes drags people down to hell if they've been particularly naughty, but that's probably for like, you know, extreme cases, like if you didn't wash the dishes even once this month. He stuffs you into a big burlap sack, and he jogs on down to the pits of Tartarus with you inside. Krampus has his own, like, little Christmas on December 6th. It's called Krampusnacht, and he comes to visit and check up on you if you've been being good this year. If you have, you get some little presents, that's cute. But if you haven't, he leaves sticks around your home to let you know that he is a threat, that he knows where you live, and that he's coming for you later in the month, which is like something the Godfather would do. Did you know that Krampus has actually tried to be suppressed? The church does not like the association with him much, and in history, there's been several times where the Catholic Church has tried to outright ban celebrations of Krampus, fearing that he's just a little bit too close to devil worship for them to be okay with it. So behave, lest you get a visit from the Christmas demon. And that's all for this video, my ghouls and goblins. Thanks so much for bearing with me. Thanks so much for bearing with the conditions and my co-host. She's very needy. I'm gonna have to fill up her bowl after this. Hope you're all having a lovely holiday. Keep on creeping on, and I'll see you in the next one.